Hello everyone, welcome to another GunPla review. Today we are looking at a premium Bandai kit. That's right, it's the XXXG-01SR2 Gundam Sandrock Custom from the Gundam Wing TV series. This is the unit that Kacha receives. It is a rebuilt version of his original unit, and he utilizes it in the final arc when all the Gundam boys return to space. The second time. This premium Bandai kit is built off of the original Gundam Sandrock design, and let's see how well it holds up. Here he is in all his glory, the Sandrock Custom, equipped with its beam machine gun, aka the Laser Uzi, as I called it as a kid, and his shield with a unique backpack featuring some extra boosters on the legs, extra boosters inside the arm parts there. So there's a few things that makes it a little bit more unique. Let's take the shield off real quick. But first, before we go through all that, let's take a look at the flexibility. Toes are separate from the rest of the foot. They wiggle. Our little part here kind of shifts a little bit, but not much. The rear part of the foot does not at all. But the whole foot as a whole can wobble back and forth a bit. Let's put the arms up. So your skirts can go all the way up, side skirts can go in decently, and the rear skirt can actually move. This means we have a lot more leg options. So let's take a look. You can get the leg going all the way up. You can do a full high kick, and leg can go pretty far back as well, though the skirts do limit it to some extent because they don't move completely all the way. Outward, yep, can do a complete side kick, although it doesn't want to fully hold up like that. And for the knee, yeah, that's pretty darn good. This is an athletic robot, I'll tell you what. Turn the stuff down there a little bit. On the upper half, you don't really get much crunch action here, but you have a little bit of shifting. Of course, you have full left and right. You could go 360 if you'd like. The backpack, the verniers here can move. That's all that moves on the backpack, unfortunately. As for the shoulders, the shoulder armor is connected to the shoulder joint, so the armor does not move independently. Arm can kind of move on its own, but it's going to wobble the shoulder most of the times. It's about as far as your arm can bend in. Of course, it has a part there, so it can only go full straight. And 360, wobbles a little bit. Finally, we have the head. The head has, can it? Almost. Yes, it can. 360. A little bit of forward, quite a bit of forward action if you want to just look all sad. Aw, sad Sandrock. And it can go pretty far back too. So you get a nice joint with the neck there. Overall, its flexibility is pretty impressive, and it didn't have any parts pop off or anything like that, which oftentimes is the case with some of the more flexible units. Overall, the build isn't too bad. It's a relatively simple kit with a few extra changes from the original, but it does have a few stickers. As you can see, it has a relatively small sheet. We have stickers for a handful of things, including the shield has a sticker. The arms of these little arrow sticker things. You have little stickers on the thruster things right around here. Sticker on the chest. Couple for the head and the camera. I believe the rear skirt has one as well. And that's kind of, oh, and of course the scope of the gun has one as well. Overall, not that much in terms of the sticker lineup, especially for a premium kit, which usually get a lot of crazy stickers going down. Alright, let's take a look at the weapons. First off, with the beam machine gun, One thing of note is that the stock does fold out if you want to make it go a little longer. I like it shorter because it looks more like a traditional Uzi and makes it a really awesome gun for this unit. But there's more, a lot more in fact. The shield, which I already showed you, has no movement action on it. Has a little small peg there, can peg onto either arm. Now the cool stuff. Whing! Yep, we get 2 heat shotels with their heated up forms. You can do that version. Or you can use standard metal to make them look like their standard unactivated form. In addition to that, we have a lot of different hand options. We have trigger fingers for both sides. We have open hands for both sides. Slide it over there. We have closed hands for both sides. And we have these hands with a little bit of a thumb up a little higher that are designed to hold the heat shotels at more of an angle and to keep them in place. So you have specific heat shottle hands as well. So many hands on this unit, it makes you think that this thing might be a real grade in disguise. But it's not. In addition to that, we do have a few spare parts. I believe some of these things are pieces of the original unit. We have a spare back skirt. We got these spare pieces, which I believe are part of a side skirt. And we have some spare small parts. I believe this is originally one of the shoulder blocks, as is this piece. And this is a spare thruster piece. Overall, Sandrock Custom is a pretty awesome kit. Not only do you have a lot of different weapon options, and due to its flexibility, there's a lot of posing options, but the spare parts would be helpful in case you want to do a little bit of customization, or if you need spare parts for a damaged standard Sandrock. There are a few minor flaws I'd like to bring up. First off, the legs feel very loose. While it allows them to have a lot of flexibility, it sometimes can make posing the unit a little more difficult than it needs to be. But unlike a lot of other kits, I never find the legs falling off or having any other kind of problems. They just get a little loose and wobbly sometimes. An easy fix for a veteran model kit builder. The second issue with this kit is that while the heat shotels can be equipped on the backpack, the only way to do that is by removing these thrusters. So you have to take out the thrusters in order to actually plug in the heat shotels. I understand the difficulty of trying to keep the design looking like what it's supposed to look like, and of course, trying to allow for the equipment to be the way it's supposed to be set up. This can make a minor problem just because the thrusters look cool and are part of how the unit is supposed to be designed, so removing them in order to hold the heat shotels there doesn't quite work, but there was really no other place they could use to link those onto the suit. Beyond those two minor gripes, there's very little negative I can say about this kit. It's honestly one of the best kits I've built. I love what it looks like, and it really gets me psyched up to collect more of the Gundam Wing units. There are very few differences between the standard Sandrock and the Sandrock Custom. So if you already own the original Sandrock, this might be a maybe for you unless you're a Gundam Wing completionist. But if you don't own either version, I recommend going for the Custom primarily because it has extra accessories. Personally, I love this kit. It's going to be the crowning jewel of my Wing collection for the time being, because Vicurious and V8 are on my queue. But until then, this kit definitely gives me high hopes for the upcoming kits like Death Scythe and Shenlong. I hope my video has helped your GunPla purchasing decision. Until next time, I'll see you at the tavern.